So this is not your usual mid-range fight. This is a phone that's built to feel perfect in your hand, going up against a phone that's built to destroy everything in its path. The Motorola Edge 70 Pro versus the OnePlus Nord 6. And honestly, the difference in approach is wild. So the real question is not which one is better on paper. The real question is what kind of user are you? But before I jump into it, if you are new here, I am Siddharth Malhotra and you're watching Digit, where we bring you detailed, no-nonsense gadget reviews and comparisons. Let's start with the first thing you notice the moment you pick these up, the design. The Motorola Edge 70 Pro is one of those phones that just feels right instantly. It's ridiculously slim at 6.9 mm thin, it's light at 190 grams, and the curved design just melts into your hand. That Pantone tea finish with that satin texture gives it this soft premium feel without being flashy. It's the kind of phone you can use for hours and not even realize it's there. Now you switch to the Nord 6 and it's completely different personality. This thing is a bit thicker, heavier, and you immediately feel that weight at 217 grams. But here's the thing, it's justified. There's a 9000 mAh battery inside. This phone is not trying to be slim, it's trying to dominate. The build is still solid, the design is clean, but the focus here is clearly power over finesse. Both give you strong durability with IP68, IP69 and military grade protection, but OnePlus pushes it even further with IP66, 68, 69 and 69K, which basically means this thing is built like a tank. Then you move to the display and again, two different philosophies. Motorola gives you this beautiful quad curved 6.8-inch AMOLED panel. It looks premium, it feels immersive, and the colors are ridiculously accurate. When I was watching content, especially something like darker scenes or high contrast visuals, the blacks looked deep, the highlights popped nicely, and nothing felt artificially boosted. Even outdoors, it holds up really well. In harsh sunlight, I didn't have to squint my eyes to read the text. By the way, when I tested it in our Digit test labs, on the lux meter, it hit around 3080 nits, which is already excellent. In Calman color test, it got an average delta E of 0.8. So watching content on this device feels rich, polished, and honestly very flagship-like. But then you pick up the Nord 6 and within seconds you realize what OnePlus is doing. This is not about just looking good, it's about feeling fast. You get a flat 6.78-inch AMOLED with a 165Hz refresh rate, and within seconds you notice the difference. Scrolling feels crazy smooth, animations just glide, and even something as basic as swiping through apps feels quicker than usual. Brightness is also up there and got 2770 nits of peak brightness on our lux meter, so outdoor visibility is not an issue at all. In Calman color test, it got an average delta E of 1.3, and in color gamut test, it measured 97.2%. Now performance, and this is where things stop being close. The Motorola Edge 70 Pro with the Dimensity 8500 Extreme is a fast phone, no doubt. So in benchmarks, you get around 2.17 million on Antutu, Geekbench single at 1739 and multi at 6864. And even in sustained loads, it holds about 84% performance in CPU throttling test, which is very solid. In daily use, everything is smooth, apps open instantly, multitasking is clean, no complaints at all. But then you pick up the Nord 6 and it just flexes. Snapdragon 8s Gen 4 is a beast. In benchmarks, in the Antutu, it scores around 2.43 million, Geekbench single core at 2087, multi-core at 6689, and slightly better sustained performance at 85% in CPU throttling test. But numbers aside, the real difference shows up in gaming. On the Motorola, you are getting 120 FPS in BGMI and CODM, and it stays stable, which is very great. But on the Nord 6, you are pushing close to 158 FPS in those games. The smoothness jump is not subtle, you actually feel it, especially in fast-paced shooters. And because OnePlus has put in a massive cooling system, the performance doesn't drop off easily either. So if gaming matters even slightly to you, this is not even a debate anymore. Then comes software, and this is where Motorola's remind you why people love it. Hello UI is clean, near stock Android, no nonsense, no bloatware, just smooth and simple. It's probably one of the cleanest experiences you can get right now. Everything feels light and polished. Oxygen OS 16 on the Nord 6 is also clean, but it's more feature-packed. You get AI integration, Mindspace, Gemini, and more customization. It's still smooth, but it's doing more in the background. The bigger difference though is updates. Motorola is giving you 3 years of Android updates and 5 years of security patches, while OnePlus is pushing 4 years of Android updates and 6 years of security patches. That's a full extra year of major updates, which actually matters if you plan to keep your phone long term. Now battery, and this is where the Nord 6 just ends the conversation. The Motorola Edge 70 Pro has a 6500 mAh battery, which is already great. You can comfortably get through a full day even with heavy use. And the 90-watt charging charges the phone from 0 to 100% in 65 minutes. But the Nord 6 is just on another level. A 9000 mAh battery inside a phone that's still under 9 mm thick is insane. This thing can easily go 2 days, sometimes even 3 if you are a lighter user. In our testing, it hit over 33 hours of screen on time, which is just ridiculous. At that point, you stop worrying about battery completely. Charging is slightly slower compared to the Motorola at 80 watts, but honestly, when your phone lasts that long, you don't care. And finally, cameras. And this is where Motorola fights back. The Motorola Edge 70 Pro has a 50 megapixel main camera, a 50 megapixel ultra wide, and a 3-in-1 light sensor. And for selfies, it comes with a 50 megapixel front camera with autofocus. In real world usage, the images from the main camera on the Edge 70 Pro are punchy and boosted in colors, especially reds and greens. At times, it can look a bit too saturated, which some people might like for social media, but it's not the most natural representation of the scene. Now, when you compare that to the OnePlus Nord 6, especially in tricky situations like shooting against the sun, the Nord 6 does a better job at controlling highlights. It manages to retain more detail in brighter areas, whereas the Motorola tends to crush shadows, losing some details in darker parts of the image. Portrait mode is where things get interesting. The Nord 6 pulls in more detail and has noticeably better edge detection. When you actually look at the shots side by side, the subject separation feels cleaner on the Nord 6. And overall, the images come out looking more refined and social media ready. That said, Motorola still holds a strong advantage with its ultra-wide camera. It's generally one of the best in this segment, delivering detailed images with good color consistency, which the Nord 6 simply cannot match with its weaker ultra-wide sensor. The selfie camera on the Edge 70 Pro is also sharp and reliable, especially for video and portraits. It tends to brighten up the face a bit, giving you a slightly enhanced look, while the Nord 6 keeps things more natural. Portrait selfies on both are fairly similar with no massive difference. In terms of videos, both can shoot up to 4K at 60 FPS, but the Edge 70 Pro has this horizon video lock feature where you can rotate the phone 360 degrees and the video output remains stable. And that brings us to the final decision. The Motorola Edge 70 Pro is for something who wants a clean, elegant phone with a great display, solid performance and excellent cameras, all wrapped in a lightweight design that feels premium every single day. The OnePlus Nord 6, on the other hand, is for someone who just wants the most powerful, most future-proof and most ridiculous all-rounder in this segment. Better performance, insane battery life, faster display, longer software support, it's just doing more. So it really comes down to this. Do you want balance and elegance or do you want raw dominance? Tell me in the comments. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.